Hey guys, I just wanted to give you all an update on my 2019 Pole Evolink 158. So I just got this bike a couple months ago, and it took me forever to get the frame. I want to say about 3 months, somewhere around there. And I didn't really mind because I was riding a SB100 Yeti, and I liked the bike quite a bit, and I was able to do alright with it. So it gave me some time to get my parts together. I went with the Fox 36 factory orange lowers 170 travel with Hope Pro 4 hubs, Spank Uzi 345 rims, and Box 1 components, along with Hope E4 brakes, and Renthal carbon bars, Hope stem, Hope cranks, Hope bottom bracket, and I don't know, man, that's about the build on the bike. So before I really get into how the bike performs, I thought I would let you see a little bit of how I ride and the trails I ride. And, you know, it's kind of a mix of everything. So check it out.
Tight squeeze. Waterfall section is awesome.
Alright guys, so as you can see, I ride a lot of varied terrain, everything from fast and kind of flowy single track to really chunky, sandy, incredibly loose drop-offs and like boulder field type of shit. And man, overall I think the Pole is incredible. I've got the EXT Storia rear shock, and well, I would say for the most part it works incredibly well. I enjoy bikes with slightly more plushness than a lot of trail feedback, just because of the rougher environment that I'm in, and I ride flats. So having my feet not clipped in and on flats and going through a lot of trail chatter sometimes gets me kind of out of whack. And so I do enjoy a lot of initial plushness, but this bike doesn't have that. It's got a lot of trail feedback, but it's, you know, for me to have a plush bike is not a requirement for me to enjoy it. I do like the lively feel of the suspension. For a bike with 158 rear and 170 front, it's got a lot of pop to it. I can really jump the bike incredibly well with very little lip. And I also feel incredibly safe on the bike. It's probably the safest, most reassuring bike I've been on. The geometry on it is amazing. I am 6'1", 170 pounds. I bought the extra large against their advice, but as you've probably seen in my other videos about geometry, just because something has a large reach number does not mean that the bike feels long. The bike itself feels like a pretty normal cockpit. It has approximately a 700 millimeter reach with my stem, which is right on par with my extra large Yeti. So it feels really normal. It's got a higher stack height, which I really like. I like having my bars up a little higher than some people, I guess. But to me, that helps me really loft the front end and, you know, do something a little easier sometimes. So geometry to me, I like the long wheelbase. I noticed that was a big jump right there, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. Hold on a second. We're going to go back and take a look. Damn! So, as you can see, I do like to jump the bike. I'm not just guy staying on the ground. So a bike that's playful and a bike that can really get up in the air is incredibly important to me. The Pole is incredibly playful for what it is. With that said, my biggest complaint about the bike is that I built it up relatively lightweight. I'm not running any cush cores or anything like that. I'm using double butted spokes, I'm using carbon bars, I'm using Pole Evo cranksets, which are their lighter cranks, and I'm sitting at 37 pounds. 37 pounds! I know, I'm right in downhill bike territory. And actually, I don't really dislike the weight. What's so mind-blowing to me is how comfortable the bike is at that weight. I can really plow through anything I want. I have absolutely just complete confidence in what the bike can handle. With that said, if I've been riding approximately 4 days in a row and I'm pretty fatigued, it takes a lot of energy to get this bike going again. So while I'm up at speed, boy, I can just hammer through sections, but whenever I'm coming out of the corner and I've got to really accelerate hard, I feel like I'm almost accelerating a bike with a bungee cord tied to a tree. Like, yeah, I can go, but it's tough as shit. Like this little climb right here, it's unbelievable what this bike will do. A lot of times on my other bike, like my 100, I will lose traction through that because it's just like a wall. And having the ability to maintain traction, I think, is part of that weight. And you know what's also mind-blowing is we've got a really steep road out here in Salida. It's called 173, and I just PR'd my climb overall. Like on any bike, I just PR'd it on the Pole, and I almost beat my time by a minute on like a 6.5 minute climb. And yes, my heart rate was completely redlined, I think at like 173, and that's really high for me considering I'm 40. But I just never lose traction, and with the wheelbase being so long, I almost always feel like the front end stays on the ground until I want it to come up. Well, speaking of which, wanting it to come up, LOL. One of the things that I had read about this bike was that it was hard to wheelie.
Right over the rock.
I have absolutely no problem whatsoever wheeling this bike, jumping this bike, manualing this bike. Everything on it's perfect. Aside from the weight, there is zero drawback. It is a hard bike to accelerate, but it's an incredibly efficient pedaling platform. I would highly, highly recommend the bike to anybody that doesn't mind being on a 37-pound bike. I don't realistically think you can get it much lighter than that. So anyway, that's my review on the 2019 Pole Evolink. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching my review, and I hope to see you guys out on the trail. Have a good day.